Each year, the Community Foundation of North Louisiana gathers data on the health and well-being of the region and then uses that data to inform where they're going to invest their funds. They also publish that data in a report called Community Counts. Their 2024 report has just come out, and Christy Gustafson, who is the CEO of the foundation, joins us now to talk about their findings. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, Christy.
Thanks for having me. We appreciate it.
Okay, so let's start with the numbers on poverty. We know that 29% of families in Northwest Louisiana with children under the age of 5 live in poverty, and that's twice the percentage of just other families. Why is this group struggling so much?
Well, just naturally, young families, young parents have lower sources of revenue, right? But it's also particularly expensive to have children under the age of 5 with childcare and all of the goods and services that you have to have for kids. So I think in a region like the Shreveport-Bossier MSA, where we already have a high rate of poverty, you're going to see a much higher rate of poverty with families with children under 5. So that's why we look at that group as a group that we really need to funnel resources to, because they need it the most.
And that leads into the next thing I found in the report that I thought was really interesting, and that is that back in 2014, 48%, I believe, of kids arriving in kindergarten were considered kindergarten ready. And then that number down to 2023 has declined to 40%. Now, you guys are focusing, I know, a lot of your dollars right now and your efforts on early childhood education. Do you think your efforts are going to change this trend?
I absolutely do. So we really started looking at these numbers and as a community and having major concern for them in 2018, 2019. Came together, brought a steering committee together at the Community Foundation to form an early childhood education initiative. And what came out of that is finding placement for children in poverty, just that group you mentioned, Johnette, to go to preschool on scholarships. So kids ages 0 to 3 attending preschool for free or virtually for free. Now we have been doing scholarships for 2 years, going to launch on the 3rd year. So we should start to see an uptick in that kindergarten readiness number within the next year or two, because the cohort of children that we've been scholarshiping will be coming into the school system. And the reason that's so important is, if you're not kindergarten ready, you're not 3rd grade reading ready, you're more likely to need individualized services and supports, and on down the line, education just becomes more difficult.
Because you're constantly catching up.
Exactly, exactly.
Right. Another thing that I found in your report that was really interesting to me, and that is you looked at teens between the ages of 16 and 19, and you found that when you look at males, you break it down as male and female, more than 18% of males between the ages of 16 and 19 are not going to school, and they're not working either. That sounds like a problem.
Yes, that's a major point of concern and has been for a few years in the Caddo-Bossier MSA, particularly for males. And so I think what we can do as a community is say, we know young men in the 16 to 19 range need more support. And really when they need support are the few years before that, because what's happening is they're getting to a point of frustration at school and dropping out. And so what we really need to do is work with young men when they're in middle school, and even earlier, to identify potential dropouts and help them succeed in school so it doesn't become such a point of frustration for them. This could be a really great initiative going forward for the community and for the school system to work on together.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and I know you'll come back again, right?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We appreciate KTBS.
All right. Thank you, Christy.
Thank you.